Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which I find out just how horrible I am for being a white man from a lady who had her own show for 2 seasons, I think. Anyway. And we come to you live from our Corona bunker on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and joining me this evening, back once again to the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks, Sinatra says, yay! Hello? Are you there? Hey, Sinatra, do you like big trucks? Are you going to say something? You're creeping me out, dude. No, seriously, are you there? Did I mute you?
Hello?
Yeah?
I wasn't getting any audio, my bad.
Oh. Are you just breathing creepily into the microphone to, intimidate me or something?
I'm like, no, where'd the audio go?
Oh, okay.
Put on my headphones. Where'd everybody go? Uh-oh.
So you can hear me now?
Yes. No.
Okay. So I did the intro, and I said, hi, Sinatra, how are you doing? All right, then. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me and the crank caller over here. Hey, Sinatra, do you like big trucks?
I do. I like my big truck.
Do you like big truck? I think big trucks are cool, and they're big and noisy. I like big trucks.
I invited that guy to have a conversation. He's like, well, we could do it Monday night. And then he proceeded to just dump his purse out in the DM, so I don't think it's happening.
Yeah. For those of you not in the know, this is a small private joke between Sinatra and I that'll be completely dated for anybody watching this in the future with a ridiculous Twitter cavalcade this morning, but it's completely irrelevant to tonight's show. So, for those of you out there who have no idea who Sinatra is and what he does, Sinatra, who the hell are you and what do you do?
I'm Sinatra and I do internet.
Okay, and you can find Sinatra Internet in the various links below in the description with his Streamlabs and his YouTube channel and his Twitter, and I think I put his Twitch in there, pretty sure, at least his other 2 channels. Yeah, that's all there. And so let's see here. Before we get into the whys and wherefores of what we're going to be looking at tonight, who is joining us on this wonderful evening where I get a wingman once in a while? Evil One, hello. Jaeger Pony, hello. Noah Asensio, hello. Matt Barnes, hello. Mike R, hello. Tall Person, hello. Attack Alpaca, hello. Ken Elliott, hello. Non-Vitae Rex, hello. Who else is here? Ryan R, hello. Bridget, hello. Deco, hello. Mr. Tickle Trunk, hello. I'm losing my own voice here. Keever Dam, hello. Dagger 3K, hello. Dinosaurus Wreck, hello. Or Danosaurus Crack. I'll get it right one of these days. Brett Ide, hello. No One Nowhere, hello. Johnny Hellcat, hello. Roger Reynolds, hello. And Matt Barnes, thank you so much. Oh, you did invite Sanute. I was going to point it out.
Yes. Other Matt is here.
Yes, it is. It's true. Other Matt. Let's see. Who else is here? Did I miss anyone? I probably did. Pissed Off Shih Tzu, Robert Pinka, Smudge, and Cannibalistic Wizard, hello. So, Sinatra.
You're looking for
what? Do you, what do you know about Lilly Singh?
Oh, a bit. I know that she had a show. It got canceled, didn't it?
Yes, it was called A Little Late with Lilly Singh. She got 1 season, and most of us watching what little that we did watch of the intros and promos were thinking, it'll be a miracle if this lasts the whole first season without being canceled. But strangely enough, they didn't cancel her, and she got a 2nd season, which I think nobody watched.
Yeah, I made a few videos about it. It was just impressively unfunny.
Not only was it unfunny, but I think it rang in with about 2 different jokes, as in A, I'm a brown girl, and B, white people are terrible. I think that was basically the crux of the entire show.
You just summed up the entire show.
Yeah. But
I made a couple of videos on it. There was one girl, I can't remember her name. She went to the live taping and she said it was one of the most awkward things she has ever done.
Really?
Was sit in the live audience, because there were people like, okay, when Lilly comes on, you have to rouse and laugh and do all this stuff. So she said it was very awkward.
I mean, a lot of shows have sort of I forget what the technical name is, but they have someone there that's supposed to, like, cue the crowd to start reacting and stuff. But usually you don't have to coach them beyond that because the entertainment on the stage is self-perpetuating if there's talent there. But yeah.
It should just kind of happen.
But in her case, we're not here to talk about Lilly Show. At least I'm not directly. I'm sure she might. But instead, last week, in the wonderful world of TEDx, because once a week or so, TEDx does a video dump. It's my favorite time of the week. It's like when going to the candy store when they have the new stock in. And in that dump of shows and presentations, we had this one from Lilly Singh. A seat at the table isn't the solution for gender equity. Now, I could divine some deeper meaning from that title. My first thought is simply being given the opportunity isn't enough for women to succeed. That's my sort of reflex interpretation of what that's telling me.
Yeah, like, okay, we got a seat, you got to give us more.
Right. Yeah, just being on the same level as everybody else at the table isn't enough. But who knows what she'll say? We'll find out together. So first and foremost, tonight's bingo card is C. C as in whatever the thing on the poll was. It was like a type. I put in 3 types of lilies, actual like a flower. And it was like Candirium or something, like a Candirium lily or whatever. So C. And also, for those of you who might have old bingo cards ready, the bingo cards have been updated. How have they been updated? Well, the square that once read, make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. Since that was way too specific and people were focusing in on those 2 words too much, I just replaced it with argumentative non sequitur. I know it sounds a lot more complicated, but basically they bring up something in the presentation as though it is supposed to mean something towards the argument, but it never does. So those of you who've been here a while, you know what that means. I think it's a bit more clear now. Either way, links to the updated bingo cards are in the description. We're doing bingo card C. Get your cards ready. This presentation, clocks in at just under 20 minutes. So we better get started. I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it, and then we will proceed.
So when I was born on September 26, 1988.
Okay, you guys hear that? September 26, 1988. Well, Sinatra hears it, so that's a good sign. Everybody else that come through okay? I tried to clean up the sound a little bit. There was some background hissing and such with the audio. Sounds good, says Mike R. And Peter Silak Hades 313 says, this is going to be bad. Really, really bad. What are you, Rotten Tomatoes or something? It hasn't even premiered yet. Jeez, dude. All right, anyway.
My grandparents and great-grandparents back in India didn't find out for 2 weeks, which is a shame because, look how perfect I was.
That one was bad. That sounds like something I would say.
That's true. Okay.
Because the phone lines were down or because they weren't available. It's because there was a complication with my birth. And that complication was being assigned female at birth.
What?
Oh, okay. We're not even 2 seconds in. Okay, let's go to the bingo card real quick because I have the sensation to do so. First, I'm going to circle free space and also going to circle childhood or family anecdote because that's about as childhood or family anecdote as you can get, talking about your birth and such. I don't know. Is that already playing victim? I was assigned female birth.
Yes. But
yeah,
I assume it'll get worse.
Yeah, okay, I'll sit on it. So far we have free space, childhood or family anecdote. Let's keep our ears open.
You see, because my mom had been told that if she gave birth to a daughter, it wasn't worth phoning home about. After all, she'd already given birth to my older sister, and this time everyone had high hopes that she would do right and have a son.
What is being assigned that... Wait. Okay, that might end up being the non sequitur, because what does that have to do with it? You were a girl. It's not you.
Is Lilly Singh trans now?
In this world, nothing would surprise me. Well, maybe some things.
But she didn't.
Okay.
She had me.
Uh-huh.
And so there were no congratulations or Indian sweets sent our way. Just
they didn't give us snacks.
They didn't give us food. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Again, Amanda, we're off to the races. Am I missing the reference?
I must be as well.
I must be as well. Thank you, Matt Barnes. I'm going to circle plays victim. I mean, it just even if I would be surprised if it doesn't happen again, but that's already laid in on pretty thick, and we're only not even a minute in.
From the moment I came into this world, I was already a disappointment to so many people.
Yeah.
It's like they had a time machine and already knew the trajectory of my entire career and life and decided that I had less to offer. And it sucked.
And is that a consequence of culture? Maybe.
I want to put forward a vote real quick if you would have one. Anecdote that probably never happened.
Oh, you don't think any of that really happened?
No, who the fuck has... Okay, I'm regretting it halfway through saying it, but I'll finish a sentence. Who has a kid and goes, oh, you're going to grow up to be such a disappointment? Then I thought about it, like, what besides an Indian father would look at a kid and go, oh, you're such a disappointment?
Well, I mean, she's the one telling us this. It's not, we're not making any assumptions. This is her story. So if she's saying that her family, devalued her upon birth, I don't know. Is that a, can I believe that happened with Lilly Singh?
Knowing the culture, I don't know.
Well, she's the one indicting the culture here. So let's give her some more time.
So why am I telling you this heavy story?
For pity points. Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to answer that question?
After all, I'm supposed to be a funny person. I have the nerve to come out here and hit you right in the feels. How dare I?
Who said you were funny?
Who said you were funny and not my feels? Thank you again, Matt Barnes. Autocorrect turned and to Amanda. Sorry. Okay. Well, autocorrect has
off to the races. All right.
Amanda off to Thank you, Matt Barnes. It's actually funnier than the autocorrect story. So that was really funny. Lily, tell us more.
I'm telling you this because although this is my lived experience, it's also the reality that millions of girls face every day across every culture and in every country.
Really? Every culture?
It seems pretty specific to a couple cultures.
Yeah, it seems, especially your own story sounds very specific to a specific culture. Now, of course, household to household, your mileage may vary, but culture-wise, that is not as common as you're saying. It isn't.
And I'm telling you this because being born into this reality set me on a lifetime mission of trying to prove myself and just feel like I was enough.
Well, now you're at least $20 million enough. So is that enough?
What did I want to be when I grow up? I wanted to be treated equally.
Well, you surpassed that like 10 years ago.
Not only that, but you are a better than equal. You're a millionaire.
Yeah.
That makes you more privileged than anything you can imagine.
Yeah, last I checked, she's like net worth is something in the neighborhood of $20 million estimated. And her YouTube channel is again, this is the estimate, that's something like $80,000 a month. So I can't wait to hear her story of woe.
And I'm not alone in this mission. In fact, us girls, what we desperately want is a seat at the table.
Us girls. All right. Collectivizes own demographic. Circling that one. Wherever there it is. Collectivizes own demographic. Okay. Moving on.
It's what every motivational poster, Tumblr post, Instagram account you follow, business article tells us success is a seat at the table. And if they want to be extra spicy, they say, if there is no seat, drag your own seat. I'm sure you've heard this.
The only people I ever talk about a seat at the table are activists. But maybe I don't know if that's good, bad, or otherwise. But it's like some of those phrases like "boys will be boys." The only people I ever hear use that phrase are like feminists, activists, or toxic masculinity proponents or something. So seat at the table is always, it's some kind of activist thing. But I don't know.
And let's take the analogy seriously. Most people understand that if you're going to get a quote seat at the table unquote, you kind of have to wait till you're invited to sit at the table.
Yeah, and once you're there, it's your stage to, rise or fall on at that point.
Literally.
Yeah.
Right. And so my marching orders were clear.
Okay.
Get a seat at this coveted table by any means necessary.
Uh-huh.
And that's been the driving force behind my entire career.
Has it? Really? Not fame and recognition and money? Oh, okay. I mean, you had your own YouTube channel, which was an independent operation. As Sinatra and I can attest to, starting out your own YouTube channel is more, unless you're corporate backed or something, an independent effort.
Well, she got the seat at the table. Then she's like, okay, I want to get to the 1%. Then she got into like the 0.1%. Now she's like, well, I want more.
So is she going to give us or us, give women advice as to how to get to where she's at? Is this like one big life coach therapy session?
Probably.
Now, in 2010, I noticed that no one on YouTube looked like me.
What?
I beg to fucking differ.
Wait, there was no Indian people on YouTube in 2010.
No, they just didn't exist. She's the only one. Okay, tell me more about your singular place on the planet of the internet.
There was no South Asian woman who's very loud and uses her hands a lot.
Okay, adding those qualifiers, you're right. I couldn't tell you if that's right or not. I don't know, but that first one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'll back up a little bit.
2010, I noticed that no one on YouTube looked like me. There was no South Asian woman who's very loud and uses her hands a lot, giving her take on the world. There was no me in front of a camera. I saw a seat up for grabs.
Wow. Okay. So you saw an opening in the market for you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Will Lilly address her attractiveness privilege? This is one of the things about my mind. Attractiveness is part physical, but then if I know your personality, then it tempers the physical attractiveness in my mind. And I know something of her personality, so in my mind, it's like, whatever. That's just me. I don't know.
I feel it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Somebody asked on the chat when this was recorded. This is, as far as I know, this is this year. This is 2021, as far as I know, because it was only posted last week, and I think it was just recorded, well, if not this year, then very recently. Thank you, Matt Barnes. No scribe, just like Spider-Man, wealth she's ignored, action is her reward. Look out, here comes the Lilly Singh.
That being said, though, I would definitely smack her big old titties around.
Oh, my God. Sinatra, that's...
What?
How dare you objectify her? I'm going to go all like Frost for a second here. How dare you?
I can't help it. Have you seen it?
I know. No, I haven't actually. Oh, okay. Well, there's Google later.
So I got to work and I started a channel under the name Superwoman. Yeah, because although I'm smart enough to do a TED Talk, I'm not smart enough to understand copyright.
So why is your channel still named Superwoman? Wait, what? Are you paying licensing fees to DC or something? Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. No one looked like me. I have tech tutorials in my YouTube history that will disagree with you. Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
That's true. Wait, was there ever... I thought there was Supergirl. Was there ever a Superwoman? I mean, I know there's been characters named that, but I always thought there was it stopped at girl and boy as far as the supers went.
No idea.
Okay.
I taught myself how to write, shoot, and edit my own content. And I worked really hard.
Yeah. Sinatra, do you write, shoot, and edit your own content?
Yes, and it's really hard.
It's really, really hard.
So I need millions of dollars too, guys.
Mm-hmm. If only your channel be monetized again, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
When I finally got the hang of it, I committed to posting 2 comedy videos a week. And I found success. With a backward snapback on my head, I gave my take on relationships, pop culture, taboo subjects.
Hold on. I am calling bullshit right now. There is no way in hell she shot, recorded, and edited 2 videos a week with the production quality she had. Actors and all that shit, no way. Not on her. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know how she started her channel. I know only like the latter portion sort of her career, kind of. But so I haven't seen like her earliest videos where they just her standing in front of a wall doing bedroom vlogs and stuff, or I don't know. Maybe she's talking sort of in the aggregate, like later when she was able to afford that kind of thing. But if she had a green screen and a bad costume and like a script, you could pump out 2 videos a week if that was all she was doing in the beginning.
Yeah, but no, maybe.
Maybe it depends. It depends on what she was doing in those early days, I guess. But I don't know. So,
and most popularly, dressed up like my parents.
Oh, you mean the parents that devalued you and disowned you? Oh, okay. Because that's how all cultures work, right? Okay, and you know, all cultures also appreciate having their elders and parents mocked.
All cultures are equal, scribe.
Yes, I know.
I can't tell you how many times I forgot to wipe that chest hair off. A lot of times.
Ha 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 ha.
Now, fast forward to 2015. And
is this just a biography? Are we going to get to something substantive, Irate Bear? Or are we just going to like go over your storied career and have a big humble brag session?
I'm on stage in India announcing my first world tour.
Okay.
As fate would have it, the day after this monumental milestone, I was set to fly to Punjab, India, to visit my grandfather for the first time in my adult life. And whew, nothing could have prepared me for what was about to happen.
Oh, what do you think happened?
I think she was. It's going one of 2 ways. She was either praised or like, why are you a loser? Why are you woman?
Yeah, it's gonna be something like, why are you dressed that way? You're a disappointment to your family. You're a disgrace. Something like that. That's my guess. And of course, that's how all cultures treat successful women. Right? Okay.
I vividly remember it. I was in the car driving to his house. He was standing outside. I nervously got out of the car, walked up to him. He walked up to me. He looked me right in the eyes.
Yes.
And he raised his hand and decorated me with a flower garland.
Oh. And then he said, this marks she was ready for sacrifice.
A gesture fit for people of
The volcano god is ready.
importance. He then proceeded to welcome me into his home, my mom by my side, and proceeded to show me all the newspaper clippings he had saved with my name and face on them.
Oh.
He said the words, "He was wrong." Words I had never heard a man say before to me.
Wait. Okay. Anecdote that never happened. Yeah, there is no way that up to that point in your entire life, in your adult life, no man had ever said he was wrong. Not even some beta trying to get your attention. Give me a break.
I'm sorry that men are.
Yeah, men can't admit when they're wrong. Yeah, okay.
He said that I had done what no one else could have done, and I had made the family name proud.
Oh.
Me, Lilly, the baby born a girl.
So what's the issue? I don't understand. Scribe, make it make sense.
Yeah, okay. So your family, you say, devalued you from birth, and then you worked really hard, Horatio Algered yourself into international fame and wealth, and then your grandfather likes you. Okay, when do we? Okay, we're 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes into this thing. We're a quarter of the way through this deal. When do we get to the whole seat at table part?
That's right. Now, in that moment,
yes.
I truly felt like Superwoman. I did. You know, through my YouTube videos, I've amassed almost 15 million subscribers.
Brag.
Yeah.
And 3 billion views.
Brag.
Must be
but more important than all of that, I managed to change one view.
Horse hockey. Horse hockey. If your grandfather had been like, meh, you'd still be a millionaire.
You know what? If I was a millionaire and my grandfather was like, meh, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know what else you want.
Yeah, I'd buy him a new house out of spite.
Here's your house, you old fuck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you meh all of this, old man.
I
Matt all over
challenge
these marble countertops.
Thank you again, Matt Barnes. Last Christmas. All right. Is that supposed to be Christmas or Christians? Last Christians, I gave you my heart. You shouted, Kali Mon Burdell.
Nice.
Oh, no. Oh, man. That of the three, that was the worst Indiana Jones movie, and it was still pretty good.
my grandfather's entrenched.
Well, are we just not going to talk about the crystal skull and pretend that's not a thing?
Of the three Indiana Jones movies, Temple of Doom was the worst one, and it was still pretty good. Sinatra.
Stop ruining it.
Gender beliefs.
Uh-huh.
And for the first time in my life, I remember.
No, you didn't change his gender beliefs. You changed his. If your story even has a grain of truth to it, he changed his opinion about you. Okay, he didn't go suddenly like all women are worthwhile. You walk up to his house, a famous millionaire, and he's like, okay. That doesn't mean he changed his opinion about women writ large. What are you talking about? Or at least let me put it this way: nothing about your story told us that. So, yeah, giving yourself credit for things you haven't. I don't have a square for that, but still.
Gender beliefs. And for the first time in my life, I remember thinking in that moment, I finally got a seat at the table. Hello, props. Alongside the men in the industry.
Wait,
Is
what?
your grandfather a men in the industry?
Wait, did I miss something in that? Hold on, I'm backing up a little bit. Is she just talking about her granddad, or did we miss something?
I have no idea.
I managed to change one view. I challenged my grandfather's entrenched gender beliefs.
Uh-huh.
And for the first time in my life, I remember thinking in that moment, I finally got a seat at the table. Hello, props. Alongside the men in the industry.
Okay, yeah, that makes zero sense. Nothing about your story said you changed your grandfather's mind about anything other than you, the individual. If
Does
anything.
this count as leave out vital context? Because we just skipped like 13 chapters.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a second to maybe catch up, but that doesn't make any sense.
I felt like that. And encouraged by my grandfather's approval, I became more confident in my influence.
So you needed a man's approval to feel confident in your influence.
Can we just point out those giant dirigibles?
We're focused on the argument here, Sinatra.
I'm focused on something.
Well, that's perfectly within your prerogative, but I'm paying attention to what she's saying. Because I'm a good boy.
Dressed like the fucking Mask.
I mean, those wings there are pretty. Man. Okay, is that like a wearable pussy hat?
I think it might be.
I remember thinking, I'm going to talk at this table. I'm going to join the dinner conversation. You know, a lot of my male mentors make comments and posts about box office numbers and salaries and titles and those dollar bills.
Brag.
Yeah, no shit.
Good Lord.
So I thought, chime in here. I learned very quickly that whenever I spoke of money, people got a little uncomfortable.
I wonder if that has anything to do with her being like, I have a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money.
I can't wait to hear this. Okay, why would people become uncomfortable with you talking about money? Uh-huh.
Like the time I pointed out the gender gap in the Forbes list for online creators.
Highest paid YouTube stars 2018. And then our Markiplier, Jake Paul, PewDiePie, and more. And Lily's response is, 2 years ago, it was almost even between male and female. Last year, it was just me, and this year, there are no females at all. Something I predicted in my Instagram caption last year. I'm concerned the digital spate is going to repeat the mistakes of ancient industries. Hope I'm wrong. Hey, Lily, if it's all based on highest paid, if it was even between male and female, what changed?
But why does it matter if that's how they were assigned at birth?
Yeah. I mean, what would you like? Oh, you're not making enough money? I think that might be it, right?
I mean, it's probably it.
Yeah, no. So, Lily, you were complaining about money. You were trying to project a sexist opinion or a sexist motivation behind the audiences that went to particular place. See, the people who are making the most money, they're not sexist. If anything, you're calling the audiences sexist for appreciating certain creators over others. And that audience is the audience you want, right?
This works on YouTube. Let's try Twitch. Let's try Pornhub. Let's try any of those. See what the pay gap is like.
Yeah.
A list I'd previously been on.
Well, how did you get there in the first place? I mean, if it's totally sexist and I have to assume also fairly racist, right? How did you get there in the first place?
I remember wanting to start a critical conversation because I saw this article and I was heartbroken.
Scribe, I would like to have a critical conversation with you, and this is vitally important. Give me more money. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm going back to the bingo card real quick. Let's see, leaves out vital context. I'm going to wait. There's got to be a waitlist example. Right here. She's on the list. She's making millions. She is her own waitlist example towards this entire direction of this thing.
Kinda.
Benevolent condescension. I mean, all the name dropping. I'm going to wait a little bit. There'll probably be something more. Self-vilification or wretchedness. No, none of that is here. Feminism. Wage gap. Well, no, I actually have a square for that. Never mind. Let me hold off on that. Privilege. Not yet. Sales pitch for product or service. Yeah, herself. Everything about this is advertising her own YouTube channel. Yes. Microaggressions and conscious bias, not specifically yet. Patriarchy, yeah. Grandfather's approval, everybody's disowning of females at the start of it, yeah. Implied, if not said directly. Wage gap, well, we just had it. Let's see. Mind reading assumes motives. It's implied right here.
Close.
Yeah, if we're not already there, she's implying it pretty cool. Wait a bit. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. No. Word salad. No, I've understood everything she said. It hasn't come out as like gobbledygook yet. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Did she say equality earlier or equity? Because I remember she said
equality.
Was it equality? Okay, I'll wait on that one, even though we might get there. Marginalization, not explicitly yet, but it's implied. Contradicts own point or argument. I'm not even sure what her argument is yet, except that I'm awesome. Yeah. And yeah.
She hasn't really made an argument yet.
Systemic institutional. Well, she talked about the industry. So I'm going to wait. Oh yeah. Mistakes of ancient industries. Yeah, no, I'm going to circle on that one. That works for me. A list. We haven't had a formal list yet. Remember, guys, when I say a list, it has to be something like I have 5 steps to, or here's 3 things. It can't just be like she starts naming things off. There has to be a list that is a part of the presentation. I've made that
a rehearsed list.
Yeah, a setup list. White supremacy, not yet. And argumentative non sequitur, the new square, or the revised square, I should say. The grandfather's approval equals industry table. That one I might hold in the back of my cap until the end, but that's a contender right now. Tier Alexander, Prometheus Unchanged. Thank you so much. Sorry, what?
Black tier.
Is that what?
There's 2 tiers in my chat. One tier, this tier, he's a Comic Club member, so he's top tier. And this tier said, just call me Black tier.
Oh, I only know him as Tier Alexander. So around here, he's my top tier. Maybe her grandpa was happy that little girl he saw scarfing down paste like cookies became successful in that country. Oh, man. Good job. Thank you, tier. Top tier. Okay, so you complain that you weren't making as much as the people who are more popular than you were in 2018. Okay, and then?
You know, the digital space had always been a place that I thought was without gatekeepers, and here it was looking just like old Hollywood.
You were on the list in 2017.
And then part of Hollywood. Scribe,
Yeah.
would you ever go into a work environment where like, I am going to be discriminated against because of who I am as a person? All right, can't wait to do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Her entire shtick is victimhood. If you watch the promos for her TV show, and if you watched any of her opening bits, and trust me, I wouldn't blame you if you haven't. Everything is just like, neener, neener, I'm here and I'm defying all the old white men, even though all the ad revenue that she might have been making on that show was going to, quote unquote, the old white men, and she wouldn't be anywhere she is without the support of mentors like the old white men, as if that matters. She doesn't care. She just wants the money.
I mean, I would take her money too, but
I don't know. I might have some integrity and not. I mean, it depends on how I'm earning that money. How would you be earning that money?
I'll do what she does for money.
Okay. Yeah.
You know how much money is $20 million?
No, I know, $20 million. I know. Thank you again, Tier. They bent over backwards for this talent hack. No kidding. 2 seasons of a show that nobody liked. 2 seasons of a 2-joke routine.
You have to keep in mind that we would have to actively try to be less entertaining than she is.
Yeah, Lilly Singh, I don't think I'm too unsafe in saying, is a beneficiary of the Me Too and women's movement bonanza that was taking place in 2018, 2019, and so on. After Harvey Weinstein and everything else, there's no, if those things hadn't happened, if the Time's Up, Me Too, and all that hadn't happened, she wouldn't have nearly as much leverage to have the kind of success she had on TV. Well, if you want to call that success. I mean, getting a TV gig in the first place is kind of a success.
Yeah, that's pretty, that's job well done.
It still has a paycheck. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Look at me, all these open doors I'm pushing. I know, right? Boy, like listen to all this heavy lifting she's having to do so far in her own story. All the struggle. Okay, and because we went from her doing like little videos on YouTube to doing a world tour. Okay, and then?
Well, let me tell you, the internet was not interested.
What?
But you were top 5.
Right, you were on the top list. You were one of the highest paid YouTubers in the world. What?
I don't know how it's possible, but it literally felt as if Twitter leaped through my screen and body slammed me onto my desk.
Body slammed you onto a fucking mattress full of cash.
Yeah. Wait. Are you talking about the adpocalypse? Were you hit by the adpocalypse, Lilly?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's what she's talking about.
Now, the message was clear. You can be on this list, but don't try to start any conversations about the inequality on this list.
It's about numbers, Lilly. It's about who brings in the most money. It's about the audience share, Lilly. Forbes didn't choose these people out of a hat. They looked at who are the top earners on YouTube and they picked them. That's it. It wasn't even a metric that they set. What are you talking about? You just showed us the article head to headline.
This is amazing.
What the good? Okay, you know what? I know it's early and maybe this is too much at this time, but serious.
What? What is that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, okay. I'm circling contradicts on pointer argument right there.
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
I don't blame you.
I have thousands and thousands of videos.
I'm really important, guys.
Yeah, if you didn't know, I have 15 million subscribers, over 1 billion views, and hundreds of thousands of videos. Hundreds of thousands. I mean, okay, I don't do my channel for a career, so maybe it is possible after, how many years has she been on? Like 10 years?
A long time, yeah.
Something like that. Okay, well, maybe she has hundreds of thousands of videos, but to imagine like scripting, recording, editing hundreds of thousands of videos, no, I don't understand.
One of my most disliked videos is why I'm not in a relationship.
Nobody cares. That's why.
I'm slanging this pussy around.
See, Lily, I don't know if you understood this, but people ostensibly come to your channel. They come to Sinatra's channel. They come to my channel primarily to be entertained, not to be whined at.
I'm going to sorely disappoint you.
Oh, I was trying to do you a favor.
Okay, no, do that. Come to my channel. You'll love it.
Sinatra's entertaining, everyone. Wink, wink.
Promise.
He likes big trucks. Anyway, okay. So why you're not in a relationship was your most least liked video? Because nobody really cares about your relationship status?
Yeah. A lot of the men at the table did not like me telling them why I didn't need a boyfriend.
Some of the comments, I'm reading them off the screen for those of you at home. You're not in a relationship because you're a 30-year-old acting like a 16-year-old. Narcissists don't have relationships. They feed. Who would want you? I think it's because she's full of herself. Sounds to me she needs a real man.
Oh, God, that bottom comment. Holy
because
shit.
her parents will choose a relationship for her and force her to marry the guy. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, that's a hard take right there. Thank you, Keeverdam. GoFundMe's are in the chat. Oh, whoops, my bad. Yes, I will pin those to the top of the chat. Everyone, go take a look at the GoFundMe's at the top of the screen or top of the chat box here in a second. They're for our friends Angry Illinoisian and his kitten. They and their families need a little bit of help. They've been the unfortunate recipients of some hardships in life, and they could use your help if you have it. Please go take a look if you have the opportunity. Appreciate it. I know they will too. I think Shady Grin's GoFundMe hit its goal. And so congratulations to Shady Grin and his friends for that. All right.
Nicely done.
So anyway.
I quickly learned that there's an invisible gatekeeper called culture.
But wait. Just now you learned about the gatekeeper called culture?
She wasn't paying attention to that when she was in the top 5, but now that she's not in it anymore, it's being gate-kept away from me.
Right, or that culture could gatekeep somebody, like when your entire culture devalued you out of the birth canal. Oof. Okay, thank you, Jaeger Pony. I want Lilly Singh and Anna Kasparian on stage together after a few drinks, getting into a conversation about which one of them is more important. Oh,
you had me until the last sentence.
At the conversation part.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pull in some music maybe, but not to hear them talk.
Oh well. Skylight. By the way, you spelled Sing wrong in the title. Oh, did I? The title of the video. I did. I left out the N. Oh, my bad. Huh. I will correct that right now.
Lily's singing.
Yep. Let's see. And
Drunkle's in the chat.
Oh, hey, Drunkle. How goes it? Appreciate the heads up on the misspelling. Obviously, sometimes shit happens. All right. Moving on. Hello, Drunkle.
And the table is smack dab in the middle of it.
All right, I'm going to back up because I didn't get the full side of that. Let's try it.
Like me telling them why I didn't need a boyfriend. I quickly learned that there's an invisible gatekeeper called culture. And the table is smack dab in the middle of it.
Okay, so because you weren't in the top 5 or whatever anymore, or there were too many people of the appearance you didn't appreciate in the top 5 of YouTube earners, and because some people didn't particularly want, you put your relationship status, joking or otherwise, into the public square, and people commented on it, and you didn't like some of the comments.
Going, oh, Lily, you know what'll make you more successful? A boyfriend.
Yeah. And of course, you cherry picked all the bad comments you didn't like. All right. And you got your fifis hurt because something you put out there. Well, at least now you can call yourself a victim. I suppose if you don't have any downvoted videos, it's kind of hard to claim victimhood. But okay.
That one about the parents is pretty rough.
That was pretty rough. That was pretty rough. But okay. All right. So you weren't on the top tier, or you didn't see enough of the kinds of genitalia you appreciated in the top tier of YouTube earners, and you got some nasty comments on your most downvoted video, if you can believe it. Okay, and this is the burden you carry. Okay, does the $20 million mattress you sleep on, does that soothe your soul any at all?
Now, in 2019, I made history with my late night show, A Little Late with Lilly Singh.
Oh boy, how did she make history? What do you think it is?
First woman TV show host.
Wrong. Joan Rivers, I think. Actually, Joan Rivers might not be the first one, but Joan Rivers definitely predated
Woman
her.
of color TV show host.
That might be true. That might be true for late night TV show. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Wait for that applause, Lily.
There I was, Lily, the baby born a brown girl, rubbing elbows or at least time slots with comedy royalty. And I got to give a huge shout out to NBC for boldly trying to break.
Is she going to say how?
How she got the show?
No, what she broke.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. How'd she make history? Yeah, maybe we're getting to that.
Break late night tradition.
Oh, she said brown girl. So maybe that was it. And rubbing elbows with the royalty. What was it? With comedy royalty. And I got to give a huge shout out to NBC for boldly trying to break late night tradition. Boldly trying to break. I thought they did. I mean, were you just an attempt, or did you do it? I'm confused. Tyr Alexander says, "Scribe Light. No, Wanda Sykes was before her." Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what ground did she? Maybe it's her ethnicity. Specifically, that could be it.
I remember when the show came out. I remember all the articles because
really, you remember when your show came out? God, what an effort on your part!
They looked practically identical. Bisexual woman of color gets late night show.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that part because it's completely irrelevant to me. That's right. Now, I wonder where all those publications were getting their copy notes from. It wouldn't be NBC's marketing department, would it? Okay. What?
I almost legally changed my name to bisexual woman of color because that's what people called me so often.
That was your that was your sales pitch. Are you kidding? Oh, like it just came out of the ether. Oh, I guess I just have to deal with this description I've had laid upon me. Did you watch any of your show? Hell, I didn't even watch your show, but I watched the intro part of it. Come on.
And as strange as that sentiment was, I thought, okay, the silver lining is that we'll finally get a different perspective in late night.
Yes, because as you know, everyone, perspectives are based on genitals, skin color, and sexual orientation. I mean, if you do not have, or if you are particular genitals, sexual orientation, skin color, you only have one perspective. There's no way that anyone else on the planet has a different perspective who looks the same. And so Lilly Singh, as compared to every other late night host, has a completely new and fresh perspective. That's why her show only lasted 2 seasons. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. That's because that's why she got the job. Yeah, those are the selling points. That was her pitch. Amongst the Me Too, Time's Up, etc. atmosphere, those were the only things that sold her to the network as a possibility. Because it certainly wasn't her humor. A lot of people were very surprised she got a second season, let alone the full of the first. So,
a little bit of melanin, a dash of queer, a different take on things. Let's do this.
That's you just saw like 3/4 of her first season right there.
I got nothing.
I really don't either. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, now, I've been invited to the big table.
Oh, there's 2 tables? Oh, I thought Grandpa's approval put you at the table. Oh, but now there's a big... so that was the little kids' table. Okay, so your grandfather's table was the little kids' table. Now there's the big table. Okay, so late night show is big table. Okay, all right.
And now, things will be different.
Well, they were. You made history, late night show of your own, $20 million. Have things not changed for you?
So I took my seat.
Took your seat? Took. I thought they gave you a show. Huh. Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the budget wasn't based on the importance or significance or historic nature of the show.
Are we going to start pushing around some blame?
I don't even know what to say to this, honestly.
I'm trying to think for a second. Gosh, how huge a production budget did Mr. Rogers have? How huge of a production budget did Bob Ross have? How long lasting how many seasons? How long lasting? How iconic are shows that don't have giant budgets but have quality entertainment? I'm
gonna blow your mind. A lot of that was based on the personality of the host,
not
how they could visually make it look.
No. What? It's about the graphics, dude. I mean, dude, it's about blast processing. If you don't have the budget, because obviously they didn't appreciate the historic nature of her just existing. Okay, so what blame are you pushing around now?
It was based on the 1:30 a.m. time slot that we had.
I'll take a 1:30 a.m. time slot. Hell, I think anybody. So how much more ungrateful are you going to sound?
It doesn't matter what the time slot is. You're not doing the show live. It's pre-recorded.
Yeah. What did Craig Ferguson? He was in the middle of the freaking night. Everybody was already asleep half the time. Have you watched clips of his show? Have you watched his show? It was amazing because Craig Ferguson is hilarious. He can take one line of dialogue and turn it into 10 minutes of laughter because he's funny. But okay, you weren't given a giant budget. A good comedian doesn't need a giant budget. They need a stage and a microphone. But okay, now what?
So to say the budget was small, the writing staff even smaller, and to do the first season, I had to shoot 96 episodes of late night television in 3 months.
Just like every other late night host like that. Oh my God. What, you've done 100,000 videos. I mean, the work pace must have just been, nothing for you, right? Were you treated, let me ask, were you treated differently than anybody else who has held that time slot and had that contract deal before?
Ooh.
Are you going to tell us? I doubt it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. Surprise, audience. This is how this actually works. This is how the industry operates. It's not I'm going to go sleep in my trailer, do 2 hours, and then take the rest of the week off. No, they have to work. There is work involved in being a show host. It's not just tea cakes and golf carts. It really isn't.
Who is right? To put that into perspective, that is shooting 2 to 3 episodes a day.
Yeah.
Versus the network standard of 1 a day, maybe 2 on Thursday.
What? All right. So wait, they were breaking labor laws for you?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, you should have a lawsuit up the yin-yang for that, huh? So is that what happened? They were breaking the rules to work you harder than you should have been? Well, why did you agree to do a second season? If they were, yeah.
We did it all with a writing staff of about half a dozen writers.
You didn't happen to make sure all those writers were of a particular type, did you?
Oh, yes. They need to be a specific race and or gender in order for them to be good writers.
You weren't treading the line of federal employment law, were you?
Versus the network standard, that's about double that.
You were a late show. You're being given a chance. I mean, can you tell that the network was like, we're doing this for the PR? I mean, I'm not going to make any bones about it. I mean, Lilly Singh did not get that job purely on talent, obviously. And the network did not give her that show because they're really excited about it. They did it so they could say they could do it. And if she did take off, maybe they'd move her time slot. So there was a lot of cynicism going on around here. But she's acting like she's a victim for the opportunity.
Words cannot explain to you how exhausting emotionally and spiritually challenging that was.
Gosh, I hope your millions salves that wound.
And I start to feel like, I think this chair is a little wobbly. Now, I think we can all agree that the beauty and magic of late night is its timeliness. You know that no matter what's happening in the world, you can turn on late night television and hear all about it. But when you shoot 96 episodes in 3 months, you kind of lose that magic.
You signed the contract. If you didn't like the terms, you should have said no.
Yeah, I mean, you were perfectly able to not sign anything.
Yeah. Or you know what you could have done? You could have gone on that and say, hey, instead of trying to do 96 shows on this budget, how about we cut the budget by a quarter and I do a daily show sort of thing like John Oliver with a desk and a camera? How about that? Because if that's what you wanted to do and the network still wanted to have your marquee 3 adjectives up there to make them look good, why not do that? Or was this contract you signed and this the deal that you wanted? Because either this is what you wanted or you just took what the network gave you. Because I could see you're trying to do a sort of Jon Stewart Daily Show, John Oliver kind of thing. If she wanted to do timely comedy, but everything she was doing was sketches. So I don't know.
I was the only show talking about hooking up, partying, cuddling, traveling in front of a live audience during a literal global pandemic.
So
What?
What does that got to do with anything?
She was doing her job during a pandemic.
Yeah, she was doing what she signed up to do and what she was paying to do. Wait, didn't her show come on before the pandemic? Am I completely misremembering when her show started?
Before and during.
Was it during too? Okay, all right. Well, so what was that? The first season was before, right?
Yeah, in the before times.
Okay.
Now, still, I thought if the budget doesn't celebrate the historicness of the show, then the creative can. I can bring some much needed spice to late night.
What makes you think that your show deserves more budget?
Evaluate for me the value, or I should say, what is the value of historic? What do you think you should have gotten? I guess I don't. She hasn't told us what their budget was, so I have no idea.
She probably can't.
That could be it too.
And sometimes I was successful.
Wait. You were successful at what? Sorry, I got to back up a little bit. Keep cutting her off. Before that, though, thank you again, Mr. Tickle Trunk. For her next trick, Lilly will nail herself up on a cross. Yeah, but you always need that last set of hands to do the last one for you. You need one more person to put up that last nail.
If the budget doesn't celebrate the historicness of the show, then the creative can. I can bring some much needed spice to late night. And sometimes I was successful.
Was sometimes in the minority of occasions, by any chance?
But other times,
yeah,
I would receive notes like, don't be so loud. Don't be so big. Don't be so angry. Smile more. And my all-time favorite,
X.
Don't over-index on the South Asian stuff.
I don't believe for a second she got a note that said, you should smile more.
Yeah, did I already circle anecdote that never happened? Yeah, I did. Okay. I already circled plays victim. Yeah, I did. Okay. Well. So in season 2 or in later episodes, you never talked about any of that stuff then?
After all, everyone else at the table who's been sitting there for years, people are used to them. I might be a little jarring to audiences.
Could we slather on the victimhood any thicker here? From a multi-millionaire, someone who makes tens of thousands of dollars a month simply on ad revenue on videos that are years old now. What are we, Lilly? What are we supposed to be doing here? Are we supposed to be praising your success or feeling sorry for you, or both at the same time? Is that it? Is that the combination?
I think
I'm still.
it, yeah.
I'm still waiting for either the point of this presentation or the guidance you're going to give to somebody else on how to overcome these terrible obstacles of not having a studio budget that reflects the historic nature of you existing. So
Now, during season 2 of my show, I remember I went into overdrive.
Okay.
I found all the loopholes. I did all the necessary jobs to try to make the show more timely.
Okay.
And I was excited to. And I felt compelled to. Because for the first time in history, we had a woman, not to mention half South Asian woman, become vice president of the United States.
Become? You mean selected? I mean, chosen on the basis, first and foremost, of her genitals. Not because of her political savvy, not because of her popularity. She didn't even make it to the primaries when she tried to run for president. She blew a $40 million war chest before she even made it months before the primaries and dropped out. And the only thing that first qualified her for that position, as the president said at the time, was her genitals. I don't know if you want to sit on that as a particular point of pride for yourself, abstractly. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Tongue butter the victim cave? Ew. Yeah. No, thanks. All right, so now you're drawing lines between yourself and Kamala Harris because of your ethnicity and gender. Okay, well, I mean, those are things that you definitely value in people. All right.
Now, we witnessed one of the greatest protests in human history with the farmer protest in India.
The what?
I have not heard of this.
Okay, I'm not going to disbelieve it happened. I thought she was about to talk about George Floyd. Because I think it's like the greatest protest in history. I thought it'd be that. But okay, the farmer protest in India?
And I was excited to finally give my take on these things.
Finally? But if the farmer protest just happened, how could you... What?
But my take was almost never included in topical media news coverage roundups.
I didn't get enough attention. Wah. Did you still have a network show? Were you still getting a paycheck? Do you still have 15 million subscribers on your YouTube channel? Good gravy, lady.
You know, we still got the same voices, the same perspectives.
Yeah. Oh, golly gee, there's Trevor Noah. Is he the same perspective from your estimation of everything else so far? Okay.
Even though someone and something different was literally in the next time slot.
Oh my God. The victimhood here is so thick. I mean, I thought there'd be some of it, but the whole thing is one big pity party for a multimillionaire.
This is not a good look.
I kept trying to pull up my seat. I kept trying to join the dinner conversation. I kept trying to ask for a more supportive seat. But every time I would be told that I should be grateful to have a seat in the first place. After all, everyone else that looks like me is still waiting outside the restaurant in the cold.
Good gravy, lady. Nobody thought you were funny. If you wanted to be topical, that's the contract you should have signed. That's the kind of show you should have went for. But you went for YouTube channel on network television. You were trying to replicate what you were successful at on YouTube onto television. And you accepted a lousy time slot and a lousy format for what you now say retroactively you would have done otherwise. That's on you. Are you in charge of your own business or not? These were your choices. Now, thank you, Scanner Daphne. Hello, Scribe and Sinatra. I just got here. Can you start again?
All right.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. I almost had you there for a second. No, I've done that joke before. So, wouldn't have been the first time. Thank you, Zero the Hero 909. Some cheese for all that wine you're having? Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah. All right. Tell me more. Tell me more. We still have like 10 minutes of this.
And the strange thing about having a wobbly seat is that you spend so much time trying to keep it upright that you can never bring your full self to the table.
Oh.
What?
So, now, why am I telling you all this?
For your sympathy and because I'm a sore winner. That's why. Unless you're about to tell me something that just completely blows my mind, which is possible. My guess is you're a sore winner. Matt Barnes, thank you so much. You didn't care for Victim Cave. How about Poor Little Rich Girl? Tongue butter the poor little rich girl? Yeah, see, well, I mean, Sinatra's got a different set of, values than I do, but he's from Ohio. It's fine. But anyway, what? No. It's just that, like I say, personality and attractiveness, these two things are kind of part and parcel in my brain.
Hey, I didn't say you were wrong.
Oh, okay.
I still would, though.
Of course you would.
Hey, ball cakes exist. You know that better than anybody.
Well, now, that is true. Although, for some girls, it can chafe the lips a little bit, and they don't like that. So, your regular old, cake. Anyway, that's another subject.
Well, because my therapist costs $200 an hour, and this is way cheaper.
$200 an hour?
Yeah, it sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, it's tried. It's been a while since I've done therapy. Of course, I had insurance for that too. Okay, maybe that's right.
I mean, she has to have insurance, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, since she's so fragile.
No, I do this.
But also
therapy.
Yeah.
Because I just experienced one of the most notorious boys' clubs ever in late night television, and I'm here to offer solutions.
So half of your talk is woe is me. I'm a millionaire TV star, YouTube top 5. Now we're going to get solutions for your problems. I am all a Twitter with anticipation.
I don't always follow up a venting session with solutions, but when I do, it's a TED Talk. That's right. You see, my goal was always a seat at the table. It's what women are conditioned to believe success is. And when the chair doesn't fit, when it doesn't reach the table, when it's wobbly, when it's full of splinters, we don't have the luxury of fixing it or finding another one.
Was the YouTube table not enough? Well, obviously, it wasn't enough for you, right? That wasn't enough. You were in the top 5 earners on YouTube. That wasn't enough. The influence you had, the leeway you were probably given amongst other YouTubers. I mean, did the adpocalypse hit you as hard as it did Sinatra? I mean, he's a white male. He should be right up there. He should have all the leverage in the world compared to you, right?
Yeah, no shit, man. I shouldn't be in this position. I you know what? I should have tried that tact with YouTube before I did anything else and be like, guys, I'm white. Why is this shouldn't be happening to me?
Exactly. Can you imagine how easy life would have been if you'd made that argument to them? Yeah. Okay. Well, Lilly, not now. I would not discount, and I don't mean to if anybody thinks otherwise, the actual work and effort and self-marketing, everything that she did to build her channel up initially. That does take work. That is not necessarily easy. So good for her on that. But there comes a point at which it starts to turn sour when you start forgetting where you came from as contrasted with where you are now. And then start talking about how you're not being treated right enough, or you're not, or well enough, or something. Like you like all the money, all the opportunities, all the leeway you've been given. You probably have Susan Wojcicki's personal phone number. I mean, people have lived and died trying to get even a fraction of where you are, and probably worked a lot harder and not leaned on their race and their gender as much. Actual talent, maybe. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Headline: Late Night TV bad, women most affected. Yeah, exactly. But okay, all right, Lilly, give us your solutions to all the problems you've suffered.
But we try anyways.
Mm-hmm.
We take on that responsibility and we shoulder that burden.
Do you?
Now, I've been fortunate enough to sit at a few seats at a few different tables.
Wait a second. Wait, whoa. Wait, a seat at a few different tables? I thought the whole thing was you haven't gotten to the big table yet. Or your chair was wobbly at the big a few tables. I thought there was one table. Okay. So why are you complaining again?
And what I've learned is when you get the seat, trying to fix the seat won't fix the problem.
What is the problem? What is the problem? You have not described yet the problem. Every step of the way so far, you have succeeded and succeeded and succeeded. But at each level, you don't feel like you were given enough. And there's that key word there, given. We weren't given the budget and so on. Describe the problem. You cannot give us a solution until you describe the problem.
Why? Because the table was never built for us in the first place.
Well, we're getting a lot of feedback from you. Oh, it's the train. Whoa! Okay, thank you, Matt Barnes. Contradicts own point. I think we already circled contradicts own point. Yeah, we did. Thank you, Matt Barnes.
Is that me? All my levels look fine.
Well, yeah, no, you're really you're bleeding out on me all over the place. You're really spiking. Yeah, like your gain just like shot through the roof. We heard the train in the background, and your voice was all breaking out.
Test 1, 2.
Whoa! Yep. Nope. Still really loud. Really loud. Your gain was like so high just then. Live television, everyone. Live television. Something that Lilly Singh didn't have to worry about recording episodes and having editors and things. Sinatra, can you hear me? All right, that's a little better. Say something else.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
That's perfect.
4.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
what have you got?
Mine has not done that in years. It just jumped to 100 from where I have it set.
Yeah, it went. I heard like the individual people on the train cars behind you coughing. It was just amazing. All right, so where were we again, Lily? You're having a tough time at the table. You couldn't fix the seat.
The solution?
Yeah.
Build better tables.
Okay, I'll bite. What does that mean?
So, allow me to be your very own IKEA manual. I would like to present to you a set of guidelines I very eloquently call how to build a table that doesn't suck.
Something I like to call, well, that is attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase in my book. And I think that we are about to be privy to a official list. So I'll probably circle that momentarily.
I've been told I'm very literal. Now, right off the bat, let me tell you, this assembly is going to take more than one person or group of people. It's going to take everyone. Now,
here's the thing. All of this could have happened 10 minutes ago. She could have said, she could have taken 2 minutes to say, I've been a very successful YouTuber, this, that, and the other, and I had my own TV show, but all along the way, I had a problem, this, that, and the other, and now I'm going to tell you how we're going to solve that. There was absolutely no need for this giant biographical pity party of 10 minutes. Just saying. Be efficient with your TED Talks, guys. Just saying.
You ready? Should we dive in? Let's do it.
Yay!
Up first, don't weaponize gratitude.
Okay, circling official list.
Yep.
So this is definitely a list. Okay, don't weaponize gratitude. Okay, what does that mean?
Now, don't get me wrong. Gratitude is a great word.
But
It's nice. It's fluffy. A solid 11 points in Scrabble. Okay. However, let's be clear.
Oh, however. Okay, however.
Although gratitude feels warm and fuzzy, it's not a form of currency. Women are assigned 10% more work and spend more time on unrewarded, unrecognized, and non-promotable tasks.
What? 10% more work assigned? When? Where? What are you talking about?
Basically, what this means is all the things men don't want to do are being handed to women.
Such as?
And a lot of those things largely include things that advance inclusivity, equity, and diversity in the workplace.
Oh, equity, diversity, oh my gosh, diversity, equity, inclusion on the board. Wow, literally. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Chicago Mike. This TED Talk feels like an IKEA store. It feels like there's no exit. Very good. Thank you, Mike. That was great. All right. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's the work that women are assigned that men don't want to deal with. Have you watched any corporate videos in the last, 5 years or so? Do you want to see how many men are gung-ho on DEI and make their entire careers around it? How many corporate CEOs come out and say, we are DEI office space. We have a DEI philosophy. It's in the air that we breathe in this company. Really? Okay. Tell me more.
So hear me when I say, a woman shouldn't be grateful to sit at a table. She should be paid to sit at a table.
Were you not paid to sit at those tables, Lily? Lily, were you or were you not paid to sit at those tables?
She was paid more than any of us will see ever in one go.
Thank you again, Matt Barnes. Oh my God, she's even more insufferable than I recall from Sinatra's videos than I remember.
This is a bit worse.
Yeah, up until I saw this video posted, I had honestly not even thought about Lilly Singh in years, really. It didn't even cross my radar. But as soon as I saw she had a TED Talk, I was like, I know the one person I need to bring in on this.
One man.
Only one man. All right.
Especially ones she largely helped build.
So okay. Which tables did you largely help build that you were not paid for? In which instances were you not compensated? Where you took a seat simply out of, I don't know, gratitude? When were these instances?
And a woman's seat shouldn't be threatened if she doesn't seem grateful enough. In other words, corporations, this step involves a woman doing a job and being paid in money, opportunity, and promotion, not just gratitude.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get a job, you have to be paid under the law. And if you know that your employer is not paying you equally for equal pay, equal work, equal tenure, etc., well, you have a possibly civil rights case against that company. That's what the laws are there for. And there are even more laws on top of the original laws that have been passed in past several years that just kind of are superfluous, but they're there. Okay? All right. And then here's the thing. Either you have then earned more pay after that and you have earned a promotion, or you have not. If you think you deserve those things and you don't get them, and you can prove some kind of actual outright discrimination, well, you might have a lawsuit. Otherwise, you are not owed those things beyond your current pay status or what someone else decides that you have earned as an opportunity beyond it. Are you going to talk about earning, or are you just going to talk like you're owed something?
There is no earning. There is only giving.
Yes, I understand. Thank you, Zero the Hero 909. I would not be a server for her if she sat at one of my tables.
She probably doesn't tip well.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if you do a little song and dance for her at the table or something. I mean, she likes that kind of thing, I think.
And women, yeah, go ahead, live it up. Live your life.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Live your life applauding me. Just go ahead. No, it's all right. All right. I give you permission. It's okay. Go ahead. Praise me. Praise me.
And women, a moment of real talk. Trust me, I've been there and I know it is so tough.
You have not been where any of the women in your audience are right now in over a decade.
Unless it's in a producer's lab.
Oh.
But we have to understand and remember that being grateful and being treated fairly are not mutually exclusive. I can be grateful, but still know exactly what I deserve.
Oh. What do you deserve, Lily? At this stage of the game, tell me. I'd love to know. What do you deserve? Okay. And if you know what you deserve and you have all that, fire and vinegar in you for that, why wasn't your budget bigger? I mean, the historic nature of your being you and everything else. Why did you settle for a contract that was less than you deserve? I mean, huh?
And that's the way to do it.
That's the way you do it.
Up next, invest in potential. When investing in women, don't invest in the 1:30 a.m. time slot.
Oh, are you still complaining about your net? You had a network show. You got network money and exposure.
She played the guitar on the MTV.
I know. We got to move these refrigerators.
Move these color TVs.
Please. Beverly Hills, that is. Anyway, okay. All right. So you're still complaining about your late night slot. You got the 1:30 a.m. Again, did you sign that contract or not? Did you agree to those terms or didn't you?
Invest in empowering something different.
Different. All right. What difference are we supposed to be investing in? What difference have you been citing this entire time? Not talent, not merit, total and absolute aesthetics. That's all that you have valued of yourself and throughout this entire talk so far. Aesthetics.
Invest in a new voice. Give them the support they actually need.
So again, you're complaining. Okay, so you didn't get enough money and you didn't get the time slot that you deserved. We're still on this. Okay.
Cultural change takes time.
You are cultural change? Oh, okay.
And money. Heck, it took my grandfather 25 years to see that I was worthy of born.
Whoa. So your grandfather's love is purchasable? Do you realize what you just said? Are you self-aware at all of not only the picture you're giving yourself right now, but the picture you're giving about what you see women as in this world? That men's love can only be purchased? Okay. So
a true investment is one that values potential over proof.
No. I come to the bank and I say, hey, bank, I've got a great idea. And they say, what's your idea, oh, Scribelight? And I say, hey, how about, people like boots, don't you? They like wearing boots. Uh-huh. And people like Mexican food, don't you? Like, yeah, they like Mexican food boots. Okay, how about boots in the shape of Mexican food? Burrito boots. Isn't that a great idea? Those two things, isn't that a lot of potential in that idea? Well, that's an interesting idea, Scribelight. What's your business plan? Proof? You need to invest in the potential of proof. The market share.
They're supposed to gamble and just give me money and not expect it back.
Good gravy. Listen to her. Are you kidding me? I know. Well, you're here.
I am here.
You agreed to this. Okay. Matt Barnes, thank you so much. Scribe, everyone knows women don't get a fair shake, especially in contracts they read and sign. Apparently not. I mean, depending on the state, there's a rescission period. You can go back on the contract within that time frame, but you have to know what it is state to state. Thank you, Jordan Edwardson. Her voice is a kick to the fundaments. Her attitude, more than anything else. Her voice is fine. Her appearance, except for that, Cesar Romero Joker out of the 60s outfit. Besides that, her voice is fine. It's her attitude that is just driving me up the wall.
Because so often that proof doesn't exist for women.
Women present business plans all the time and show to investors what they can do and the possible growth thereof. Now, of course, it's up to the investor to invest their money wisely, but people provide proof all the time. It's called a business plan. It's going to the audience. It's going to NBC and saying, hey, I've got a 15 million subscriber audience base right now. Okay. If I bring in just a fraction of that to your 1:30 a.m. slot, that'll add on to your overall ratings for the entire season by XYZ. Are you telling me that nothing, you came to them with nothing anywhere near that kind of argument? Or are you saying that you should not have had to make that argument? Are you saying that you had to actually convince them with something beyond your aesthetic, and now you're complaining about having to make that case? Which is it? I'd love to know what the answer is to that one.
Not because we aren't qualified, but because we haven't been given the opportunity.
Given.
You have it. You had it.
Look,
They gave you an extra year. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, that first season didn't exactly break any barriers or something. But hey, there's a lot of shows out there that should have been given more than one season because they were good shows. I'm talking about like Prophet from the 90s on Fox. That deserved more than one season. But anyway, and X-Files would have died if they hadn't given another shot. Anyway, I can believe. Okay, and this is again, I just want to say, however she built up her YouTube channel on her own steam in those early years, all credit to her. She opened up those doors on her own 2 feet. So credit where credit is due to that point. But now, come on, given the opportunity, what did you just say? You said make your own table. Do you want to create your own opportunity, or are you begging for opportunities? What is the message here?
In other words, if you're trying to be inclusive, don't give someone new a seat made of straw until they prove they deserve a better one.
What? You pull that back a second. I must have misunderstood that.
Yeah, have you ever heard of entry-level positions? Just in life in general, not just in a corporation. But what?
In other words, if you're trying to be inclusive, don't give someone new a seat made of straw until they prove they deserve a better one.
Don't give somebody a seat made of straw until they prove they can get a better one?
Right. Just give them the better position without first having to prove themselves. That's the message you have for women. Or sorry,
that makes no sense.
That makes absolutely no sense. I'm sorry. That's the message you have for employers.
Don't give somebody a seat made of straw until they prove. How can they prove they deserve a better one?
They shouldn't have to, apparently. No proof required. Simply the potential of something is enough. You know what this reminds me of? Banking on the potential of an investment without actually having to show proof. There was a really successful, legendary business that practiced that model for many, many years. I think it was called Enron. Boy, how did that turn out?
Huh.
Don't hold against something called a prove it again bias.
Okay, you know what? Chicago Mike and several other people in the chat already said word salad. Word salad.
Don't do it, but don't ask them to do it again, especially if they didn't do it.
All right, I'm backing up. I want to hear this all in its full glory.
If you're trying to be inclusive, don't give someone new a seat made of straw until they prove they deserve a better one. Don't hold against something called a prove it again bias, which requires less privileged people to constantly keep proving themselves, even though white men tend to get by on just their potential.
Okay, well, in that we have, she talked about bias, so we're talking about microaggressions, unconscious bias. And since that was the tone of everything she said so far, I'm going to also circle white supremacy. And, well, here's the thing. Now, having circled white supremacy.
Bingo. What? Of course!
We have our first bingo, right down the middle, and we're very close to possibly others. So, I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm going to wait a second. All right, we kind of keep going here.
Give them a seat that they can thrive in.
Give. Deserve.
Yes. No earn.
No work.
Give. Don't give them the small office first. Give them the big office first. They don't have to prove themselves, especially if it's white men making the decisions. P.S. I'm not a racist.
They can do the job you hired them to do and allow them to contribute to the table, and they will make it better.
I thought you weren't allowed at the table. How can you contribute if you're not allowed?
How do you know they will make it better? Have you never fired an employee before? Has every woman who has ever worked for you always kept their job and always pleased you up until the end? I mean, maybe it's possible. I don't know. But you're talking specifically to women. Women will make it better. Just why? Because they're women? Okay, if you're guaranteeing that. All right. If somebody in the audience, takes your advice and they have to end up firing somebody, or whoever they hire doesn't work out, do they get to sue you for bad advice or something?
Up next, this is my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite one. It's
I can tell you're really happy about yourself right now.
quite common sense, actually.
Oh, common sense. Well, I could do with some common sense right now, given that you're kind of listening to a bunch of nonsense.
Make space for us.
Because you're fat?
Make, give.
Oh. Make, give. Yeah. Make, give. No proof. Make, give.
For every 3 men at a table, there's only one place setting for a woman.
Oh, is that an official statistic? Or is that like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears statistic?
People are so used to more men showing up that they plan for it.
What?
There's an extra seat in the corner. There's a steak under the heat lamp. When more men show up,
What?
the table gets longer.
There's a steak under the heat lamp? I don't even know where we are right now.
What is happening?
It is often the case, and I've said this before, that more often than not on TEDx and TED stages, we're not so much witnessing a presentation of ideas and developments or anything like that, but we're watching a microcosm of the speaker's own mind at play. And I'm morbidly fascinated with the world that this woman lives in day to day right now. If this is at all, and I think it is a reflection of her perspective on the world and people and reality, it's something else.
But when that extra RSVP is a woman, more often than not, she's encouraged to compete against the only other woman that was invited to the table.
Oh, how often is more often than not? Okay. Did this happen to you? Do you have like an active example? I'll take an anecdotal example.
Any example, really?
Yeah, any example, really, like a table you were at where you were one of 2 women at the table with like 6 other men, and all the other men were looking at the 2 of you waiting for a cat fight. I mean, do you have anything you want to tell us about that at all? And yeah, the more I look at her outfit, I keep thinking the Joker from the 60s Batman show and Cesar Romero.
Instead, we need to build multiple seats for multiple women, not just 1 or 2, so that women are not sitting on top of each other's laps fighting for one meal.
Okay, 2 things. 1, that sounds amazing. 2, what I'm getting out of this is you don't want to make room at the table. You want the table made bigger for you.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this was supposed to be, I thought this thing was titled How to Make a Better Table, or How to Make Tables That Don't Suck. And I thought that you preambled all of that with we make our own tables. But now you're saying in any of your own graphics that men have to give you things. So, okay. I'm going over to the card again. There's a square I haven't circled yet. It's mind reading assumes motives. And I think we've crossed that Rubicon several times already. I think I'd be safe in saying that. And as a consequence of that...
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay!
Right?
We have our second bingo. 2 bingos. Continuing.
Yeah. We already know that more diverse teams perform better.
Oh, do we know that? Oh, do you want to cite something that says that? That isn't a McKinsey study that has it buried somewhere in there that no correlative evidence can be found for that claim? You want to cite something with that one? We know that. Okay. And do you want to define diverse again for us, please? Because that leads to a whole other set of questions. But you're not going to, are you?
A recent study shows that
Is it McKinsey? Tell me it's McKinsey.
corporations that have more gender diversity on their executive teams were 25% more likely to experience above average profitability.
Tell me it was the McKinsey study. because I have a footnote to show you on that study.
And more
Yeah, it sounds
racially
like you're
diverse.
pretty hyped about that.
What now?
It sounds like you're pretty hyped about that.
Oh man, when I found that, this is years ago now, but somebody brought up a study that said something very similar to that, and they cited it on their little screen. It said McKinsey or whatever, and I looked it up, and I went through their little PDF study and everything, and way like buried A12 kind of thing. There was a little box that said about the claim that having more women on your executive teams equals more profits. There's a little block down at the bottom of one of the pages that said something to the effect of, there was no correlative evidence of something like that. It was just, they basically admitted that they can't say for actual certainty that that's what led to the improved profits. But all their graphs and everything implied that heavily, but apparently they had at least enough intellectual honesty to have to admit somewhere on their thing that they couldn't say that for certain, because simply the gender of the people on the board does not equate to business success if your business is lousy. So anyway,
companies had 36% more profit. So really, no matter how you look at it, it's time to build longer tables and more seats.
See?
And I want to say something, and I want to admit something. I want to be vulnerable for a second.
You want to say something? Well, don't let me stop. You want to be vulnerable for a sec. Hey, well, it's your stage, Lily.
Because I've fallen victim to this so many times.
Oh, okay, guys, here we go.
Boy.
Here we go.
And women, let me know if you've experienced this.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm ready.
Are you scribe? Let her play.
my body is ready.
We have to get rid of the scarcity mindset and champion each other. Because I've learned what's the better win, me sitting at a table or us sitting at a table. Don't be convinced to fight for one spot. Instead, fight for multiple spots.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Okay. Well, no.
Women are.
No. Wait. Sinatra, I see an opportunity here.
All right.
No, I know I'm stretching. Okay, so she wants to fight together with other women to see them succeed and come to the table, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Shelley needs to put out a video clipping this part right here and putting out a call to Lilly Singh to elevate her voice.
Ooh.
And then you would then, be a kept man, but you'd still be along for the ride.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah. So everybody in the audience, if you happen to be specifically female, all right, or that is your identity, and you have a YouTube channel, even if you're not doing any videos right now, clip this part. You can find the link to the original video in the description. Clip that part and put out a call to Lilly Singh to have her pull you onto her $20 million bandwagon, because she's offering right now.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, money where the mouth is, as they say. So if she's willing to open up those doors for the people who are literally unable to get anywhere near the level she's at in their lifetimes, I'd say take her up on it, because why not?
That being said,
yes, the cops are coming.
Yeah. Women are terrible to each other. They are just awful.
No, it's a sisterhood. It's a sisterhood of the traveling pants.
Assholes.
What are you talking about? No. Women are not vindictive towards one another, Sinatra. I don't know what you saw in high school or any TV show or example in real life ever. And it's all not true. It's all there's no competitiveness, aggressiveness. That's all male traits.
Oh, dude, women are the most competitive. Women outdo us in competitive shit, period.
Sinatra, Lilly is speaking. See? She gets applause. What she said was right.
And let me lead by example right now and say, I know there's many other women that are going to come on this stage, and I hope they all nail it, and I will be cheering you all on.
No. Don't cheer. Don't cheer. They want market share. Lilly, you just said you're going to bring them up with you, right? Right? You're going to bring them up on the stage right now, name them off so they can share in some of your glow? Or did you not mean what you just said a minute ago?
Because we can all win, and I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader when you're up here.
Cheerleader. Oh, okay. Okay.
Last, it's time to upgrade the table talk.
Okay.
Now, I believe stories make the world go around.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it had something to do with the solar system? Joke's on you, it's stories.
Okay, I feel better now. Yeah, you're laughing at your own joke. It's great, isn't it?
Stories are how we understand ourselves, how we understand others, and how we understand the world.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably the most important stories are those we see in the media.
No. Have you paid attention to CNN in the last 5 years? They put out a lot of stories that have absolutely no importance whatsoever. It's true. I should know.
Because we've seen time and time that they control the narrative and impact culture.
To a degree, yeah, but okay, where are you going with this, Lily?
Now, when it comes to genre, you can argue that certain genres have certain target demographics.
You could argue. I guess you could, because it'd be true.
When it comes to the world news, the target demographic is the world.
No, it's usually adults, 30 to 45. Actually, well, 65, yeah. Somewhere in there. Especially the nightly news these days, people actually watching the news, Fox News and so on, their demographics are old. I mean, their reach might be global, but their demographic viewership is kind of steady. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. What do I know?
And we know half of the world is female.
Actually, more than half, but whatever.
Yet women and girls make up only a quarter of the people interviewed or that the news is even about in the first place.
Well, do something interesting. Oh, whoops, sorry. What?
Instead, when it comes to issues that impact women, we not only need to be included in the coverage, we need to be driving those stories and dimensionalizing our own experience.
Okay, how do you suggest that happen then?
Inviting everyone in on the table talk isn't just a nice gesture. It makes for better, more productive, smarter conversation with more than one point of view. And that's how you get better.
Yeah, because as we know, all men have the exact same point of view. That's why Donald Trump and Joe Biden are exactly the same kind of politician. That's why Vladimir Putin and, the Pope are exactly on the same page, because they're both white men. They have both the same point of view. That's how people work. Thanks, Lily.
So this all sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does. Tell us about work, Lily.
And it is.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to tell you why it's necessary and worth it.
Who's going to do the work, Lily? You?
No, don't be silly.
To be honest, this is about so much more than just women in the workplace.
Oh, because I thought that was the entirety of the point of your presentation.
Now, in fact, I could probably come up with many more guidelines across many other industries.
Oh, I'm sure you could, and I'm sure they'd all be completely worthless.
This is about creating a world where half of the population can thrive.
Wait. How
What were they doing before?
What is half the population if not thriving? Half of actually, it's 51%. I think the last time that they actually did some kind of estimate, like women actually are the majority, not by much, grant you, but 1% of the population's a lot of people. Thrive? How do you define thrive? You mean be as rich as you? Is that it? Is that the qualification of thrive? Because man, no one's going to get there. 1% will get there of anybody.
You see, because the work we do today can create a world where future generations of girls can have equitable access and opportunity.
How are you where you are at?
And here's the best part. Are you ready for it? Everyone listening today, all the men, the women, everyone in between, the big companies, the small ones, the media outlets, the people that snuck.
The men and women and everybody in between. Okay.
In the back, all of you, you can help create this future.
Oh, how? Tell me how.
A future where we have longer tables and more seats that actually work.
Yeah, more cooks in the kitchen always make the broth better.
Instead of fighting for a seat at the old ones that don't.
Uh-huh.
A future where everyone is seated at the table equally.
Milking that, huh?
Yeah.
And a future where being assigned female at birth is not a disappointment or a disadvantage, Because girls are encouraged, empowered, and expected to do great things. And I can't wait to make that a reality.
Aren't
Thank
all
you so much.
children-
A standing ovation.
Gross.
Okay, well, we are.
Aren't all
Far-
children kind of expected to do great things and be important and nice people?
It all depends on the parents, I suppose, or the culture with which the parents adhere to. I don't know. All right, let's go over the bingo card one more time. Let me shrink it down a little bit so it actually fits in the window. How's that? That works pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go over it one more time, Sinatra and I, and we'll circle any squares that we see that fit. And if there are any squares left to be circled, we'll go to you guys for the argument. So leaves out vital context. Grandpa equals seat at the industry table.
Yeah, grandpa equals media CEOs, probably.
Yeah, that never made any sense. That really never made any sense. Okay, there's that one. Benevolent condescension. Do you think she was being benevolently condescending to women and or men in this?
I want to say yes, because there was the okay, everyone needs to listen to me now. I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And then it's like tables.
And, yeah, tables, it needs to be given to you.
Yeah, the given thing fucking really shoved a crop my ass.
Well, here's the thing. Having circled this, do you know what happens, Sinatra?
Uh-huh.
Can you see what happens?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Bingo.
What? Of course!
I need to make a few more bingo stingers because I've only got 3 right now.
Ooh,
there we go.
Are you not doing the wowie wow-wows anymore?
Oh, that's only when Dog Cat Fox shows up.
Oh.
I mean, I could just off the cuff, but usually it's like, you know,
gotta be Dog Cat Fox.
Yeah, so somebody puts a Dog Cat Fox up on the super stickers or something, and then it's like, oh, Dog Cat Fox. But I mean, you know,
super sticker Dog Cat Fox.
Moving on, self-vilification or wretchedness. No, I am not circling that.
Loved herself.
In no way, shape, or form am I ever circling that for this one. No. Feminism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a given. Given everything else. And you know what happens because I circled that one too? Oh no!
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay!
Right?
There we go.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always got to get the chink in there. Privilege.
I'm pretty sure she mentioned privilege.
If she didn't mention it, she mentioned privilege, did she? Okay. All right. People in the chat are saying she did mention privilege explicitly. All right, then. Well, golly gee, if she did, then I guess we have diagonally.
Yep.
Diagonally.
Bingo.
What? Of course!
Bingo. All right, moving on. Marginalization.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't really deny that one. We're not going to get a blackout, guys, because there's no way self-vilification applies. But yeah. So once again,
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
and because
I
it was a
love the chain
diagonal,
clips.
it's a diagonal too, though. So
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay!
Right?
yeah, the right and the of course. I got to have those in there.
Of course.
I almost it started. There was this the whole chink right thing started like there's this one video where literally this lady on the stage who was giving a presentation about lesbians in tech or something, and the end of every other sentence was her asking reflexively and rhetorically to the audience, right? And it happened so many times that I had to highlight every single one of them with a follow-up, right? From Chink, right?
Oh, Chank's rights drive me up a wall. 'Cause
I know.
he's not talking to anybody.
All right. And lastly, argumentative non sequitur. Okay, now this is a tough one. Did she bring up something? And it's going to be tough because a lot of this was autobiographical. Her point was all over the place. Keeverdam says circle the whole card. Okay, I'll do that now because of the WTF, just so I don't forget. So that doesn't make it a blackout, guys. It just means it was a WTF event. Let me make sure I get that on the screen for posterity's sake. Yes, Keyword M says circle the whole card. Okay, the whole card has now, let me display it here, been circled. Okay, so argumentative non sequitur. Did she bring up anything in the course of the talk that never had a payoff and or in no way, shape, or form related to her argument? I know this is going to be difficult because she was all over the place.
The lay?
No, yeah, little details about. Now I'm talking about like she brings up something like it's really meaningful about towards her argument, but it didn't pay off. It didn't have anything to do with anything.
I don't.
And it has to be within the context of the argument, even if it's not a good argument. This is the thing; it isn't necessarily something where it's like that was a bad example, right? If the example was still an attempt towards the argument, it just was a bad example, that still counts. It has to be something just out of left field that never paid off. I can't think of anything off the cuff.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm going to leave that to the guys. You have a very easy job. It is relative to every other TEDx thus far. All you have to do, because there's no, if you're going to make an argument for self-vilification or wretchedness, it's going to have to impress both me and Sinatra at the same time. There's no way I'm circling that score. Given her attitude, I don't see it.
I have one, but it's her saying that, oh, I'm a woman, so everyone expects less of me. I'm a woman, blah, blah, blah. So it's not exactly self-vilification, but
it's not because, well, no, that was the plays victim part, but that's not self-vilification. Self-vilification is something like, I'm white and I'm part of the problem.
I'm
or something
white
like that. Yeah. No, I've had TEDx's exactly like that. I have. It's been very easy. Oh yeah, you've been here. Okay. Anyway, guys, so if you have arguments for, in this case, one square or a really good argument for another, I'll take them now. So be sure to tag me in the chat so I can see it. I'll scroll up a bit in case I missed something. Bridget. Self-vilification with her first argument. She was vilifying herself for being, quote, assigned female, which is a pretty vilifying statement towards one birth sex. Again, I still say that that's plays victim. I say it because she was saying it as though she was being assigned, like that was a burden put upon her, not something that she was accepting as true. She was putting that out there for pity points.
That's a beautiful Grammy you got, Bridget.
What now?
The fish.
Oh, of course you'd know the fish.
Yeah.
You're a fish. You're a fishy. Yeah, that's true. You're a fishy guy. All right. So yeah, I appreciate the argument, but it's got to be something where she was actually devaluing herself and not citing to us someone else devaluing her. That's the differential. And it's going to, like I say, I can't think of one thing.
Oh, Deco. That's a decent point.
Okay. YouTube top earners argument never paid off. Argumentative skyline. Well, okay. But it wasn't a non sequitur because even, like I say, it's not a good argument, but that was an argument towards her quote unquote proof of there being a disparity based on gender. Because there was a disparity based on gender in her example, but it wasn't, but it was a bad example. Again, like this is the tough part. It has to be something that doesn't lend itself in any way. Like if I'm giving a talk on toxic masculinity and in the middle of it, I start talking about how my dad's hot dog stand failed and then I never mentioned it again, but I made sure to make it a big point. That would be an argument of non sequitur. But saying that, oh, look, all these men are in top spots and I'm not there anymore. Like I say, it's not a good argument. It's not a reasonable argument, but it is lending itself to her argument. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, I have to be very stringent here with this because this will give us 2 more bingos. And if somebody does come up with a crazy self-vilification argument, we'll have a blackout, which we've only had once before. And that's a special occasion, and I don't want to cheese that.
What was the other blackout?
It was a lady talking about body shape, and I swear she hit every single square. I mean, if you watch the video, and I can give you a link afterwards, I was really like at the end, near the end of the show, of the show, as I was like circling each bingo, I was going over each one. I was like, did she do this? And I was like, yeah, she did. And I was like, I got to make sure. You hear it in my voice. I was like, I don't want to cheese it, but it was absolutely true. She hit every mark. It was amazing. Let's see. Bridget. 1 a.m. time slot as shown by No One Nowhere. 1 a.m. time slot. Okay, let's think about this for a second. All right. Okay, so the 1:30 time slot, she was... I think part of the problem was she didn't want to come out and say NBC was discriminatory towards her. But I think the 1 a.m. time slot and the lower budget for the show than she thought she deserved was also leaning on the fact that she was a woman.
Yeah.
I think that was part and parcel with, this is an example of how I was devalued because of what I am. So again, I'm not, again, setting those aside doesn't mean I'm agreeing with the quality of her argument. The question is, does it feed into her argument, good or bad? And it did. So that's the thing. And I'm being a little bit stringent there because, again, this would be 2 bingos. And so this is the, yeah. Peter Silent, Katie's 313. It's hard to find another argument for self-vilification when all she did was brag about how great she is in between rants about how ungrateful she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. That's what's going to prevent a blackout on this at the very least. Kiefer Dam gives us the title of the blackout example so far. Fat phobia is rooted in anti-blackness.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, she hit all the numbers on that one. Mike R, non sequitur, white men at the table. Expand on that, and you don't have to super chat it. Just expand on that. I'm my ears are open, and we're going to take the show only another couple of minutes, guys. We're coming up on 2 hours. So expand on how that was a non sequitur. Because if the argument is that she was being discriminated against for being a woman, then whatever the skin color, the villain of that story has to be men. So how is that a non sequitur? Kiefer Dam says, no, that was just one of her quotes. From the blackout episode. Oh, okay, I thought that was the title. I could totally believe that was the title. No name. Lily's shtick is that she's vilified because she's a bisexual woman of color. Self-vilification. But you see, again, she kept quoting that as though it were something like a burden to bear. But that was the basis of all of her humor on her show.
Yeah,
that was the marketing campaign for her show. And I'm not meaning to take a tone like I'm being adversarial towards you, but I'm just saying is that doesn't wash with me because she used that as the selling point for why people should watch her. I mean, in this talk, she was being ridiculously disingenuous, saying that those words were being forced upon her or something.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
I have a hard time linking that to self-vilification when it's something she boasts and used in everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to consider self-vilification when it's half her personality.
Yeah, and half of her brand at the very least. Okay, guys, I'm waiting for Mike. I'm going to give Mike R a second here to give me some more on his attempt here. Okay, here we go. Mike R. What did the race of the men have to do with anything, or maybe I'm confused?
The white man's holding the sister down. Yeah,
well, see, that was part because just what No Name said. In a way, bisexual woman of color. Okay, her purported claim is that she was devalued in time slot and budget and everything else, that they should have seen the potential in her because she was different. And the difference is at least one aspect, race. And so if race is now a factor in her estimation of her fate, then the race of the people that she blames for it is relevant to her argument. I'm not saying it's valid. Again, it's within the universe of the argument being made. I know, it sucks. I would love to circle that square, but this is the point where, and again, this is why I love this part of the show, is because we're really analyzing what was said and trying. And I know that I'm the ultimate arbiter of it mostly, but trying to be as honest as possible and not just circling to circle. Okay, Bridget, well, it might be the last one here. She always talks about her race, sex, and sexuality as something that needs to be uplifted, meaning she doesn't put too much stock in her identity, vilifying it. I can't help but think that every time it was a humble brag.
Yeah, it's always a humble brag.
I know, guys. I would love to find a way in which she was actually devaluing herself, but every time she brought it up, she was the victim of someone else's devaluation, not her own. She has in this presentation. I don't know the woman. I don't know her mind. All we have is the presentation to work within, and at no point did I feel like she felt sorry for herself. I never felt that way. And again, non sequitur. It's easy to get away with that square if you have a lousy argument that's too broad to ever define. That means that everything can potentially count. And as long as she was being victimized, it had something to do with race, sex, or orientation, and she's still a woman, it all technically counts. So I think I'm going to call it, but hey, if you want to call a almost full bingo card anything other than a success, if you want to call it that, I don't know what else to say. This is one of the most full bingo cards we've had in months.
Indeed.
So, and I can only thank Lilly Singh and all of you. And Sinatra, you as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, you can find links to all of Sinatra's goodies, such as they are, in the description below. As well, if you have any interest in watching the original of this TED Talk and finding that little clip where she's offering to help women up for your own use. It's there if you decide to. Sinatra, where can people find you next?
We're going to be on the Sinatra Screams channel tomorrow night at 5:30 Eastern for the AAA meeting.
Yep, and the Sinatra Screams link is in the description as well. So with that, everyone, and programming note, if you'd like to hear more from me, I'll be doing the Sunday show, or Sunday stream, I should say, on, if you can believe it, Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where I'll talk about a thing, which I haven't decided yet. I always decide on like Saturday afternoon or something, so come along with me for that. But either way, everyone, thank you all for joining us on this wonderful evening of wit and wisdom from Lilly Singh. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very little to do. Everybody who donated either to myself or to the GoFundMe's at the top of the chat box, please do take a look at those. Thank you so much for your generosity. Really do appreciate it. I hope everybody has a safe St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way, Sinatra.
You too.
And I hope you are all safe and otherwise well. If you are not well, please get well soon, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Later.